Okay, that's it. I am starting a singles ministry. I'm just gonna do it, okay? For all of you guys who are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Esmao, and I am the Ratchet Christian. And if you've been here before, hi, welcome back. And just thank you for bearing with me. I feel like this year I've just been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this channel. I've had it for 3 years, and I feel like it was just kind of reaching a point of like being stagnant, where I just kind of had to pray, like, Lord, like, should I end it? Like, should I stop doing these videos? Like, should I like change it? Like, it's just been going through a metamorphosis. And so I appreciate those of you who are still here 3 years later, you know what I mean, still hanging on and watching and subscribing and liking. I mean it when I say I appreciate every single last one of you, because it keeps me encouraged to keep doing these videos even after I get like 2 or 3 likes, you know what I mean, or like views. And of course, like, I don't care about things like that, or at least I try not to, you know. I just want it to be good, and I always want it to be growing. And I don't want anything in my life to be stagnant that I do, especially if I'm stewarding this for God, you know what I mean. Although it's my YouTube channel, I feel like it's God that has gifted me the idea, and I just want to steward it well. And I know that anything that God is a part of isn't stagnant, you know, should be growing and moving forward. And so I've just been praying, like, trying to figure out, like, okay, God, like, what's next with this channel? Like, what am I supposed to do? And so I say all that to say that I am going to start a singles ministry. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it's gonna really look like. All I know is that I'm mostly gonna focus this channel now on talking about like relationships, dating, relationships, romantic. Maybe sometimes I'll talk about friendships, but I feel like that's where my calling is. I feel like that's where my purpose is. And I've done a couple videos about relationships. I feel like I talk about it, you know, every now and then. And I could talk about it way more than I do, but I just don't ever want to seem like I'm being desperate because I'm always talking about love, always talking about relationships. But it's like, you know what, like, this is the area of my life where God has had to pour the most wisdom, you know, is in the area of the relationships with the opposite sex. You know what I mean? This is where God has had to give me the most healing and revelation. And I just, you know, throughout my life, always find myself in conversations where I'm talking to people about their girlfriend, I'm talking to people about their boyfriend, you know. Even since middle school, people have always just come to me with their relationship problems, you know what I mean? And I don't go seeking these things. I'll be at work, somebody will come up to me and start talking to me about their boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, this is my zhuzh, this is my area, and I just believe that this is my purpose, this is my calling. And I don't feel like the most qualified for it, you know, because I'm just like, God, I can't talk about relationships. Like, I don't even have a boyfriend, you know what I mean, right now. But I see that I'm in a unique position where I can minister to singles. That's why I'm calling it a ministry. I'm just going to be ministering to single people as a single, you know what I mean? As a person of faith, I listen to a lot of sermons about like marriage and love and relationships, and most of them are from married people, as it should be, because, you know, one day we do all hope to be married, and so it's good to listen to married people. But I feel like at the end of that sermon, like, they already know the person that God chose for them, you know. They're already married. They already know the person that God that they are going to end up with, you know. So after they teach us singles about, you know, marriage and what we should look for, they're gonna go home to their husband or wife and have a great night of sex and maybe eat dinner, you know, and cuddle up, and we're still stuck, you know, waiting on God, being single and having to have faith, you know. And so I just think I have a unique opportunity as a single Christian woman to come out and talk to other single women. You don't necessarily have to be Christian, but just know that my views and perspectives that I'm going to be showing talking about are from my conversations with Jesus, you know. So it is going to have, you know, a religious tone to it, because a lot of the knowledge and growth that I've had in the areas of love and romantic relationships have came from Jesus. So yeah, I just think I have this unique opportunity to walk this road with you guys as a single person. You know, as we start, I pray that, you know, I'll see so many people get engaged, I'll see so many people get married. You guys might just be there as I get engaged, as I get married, as I have children. And so I think it's exciting to be here at this moment in the very beginning, and let's see what the years are going to look like after this, you know. A lot of the sermons that I watch is pastors who are already married, who already have kids, who are telling us about the journey. But I feel like I'm bringing you guys along that journey with me, and I'm going along the journey with you guys as well. So I'm just going to be here ministering to singles, talking about a variety of things. And so what that is going to look like, I'm just going to be talking about different topics, like how to get over a breakup, like you may need deliverance from that relationship, you know, like what to look for in a person. Maybe you should stop cheating on people. Like, just all the different things that there is to talk about relationships. We are going to talk about it. And so God has already blessed me with a bunch of topics. Like, I already have topic outlines for like 9 videos straight. So yeah, we're going to be talking about relationships. I'm not going to shy away from it anymore. I don't want to not be obedient to what God's calling me to do, because I don't want to seem like, oh, I'm being desperate, because it's like, it's bigger than that. It's not about me. It's about other people who might need to hear it. And so I just hope that you guys are going to come along with me on this journey as we just learn how to do relationships God's way, and hopefully learn how to do marriage God's way, engagement God's way, raising children God's way. Because there's just a lot of dating advice out there. There's a lot of dating advice out there on social media land, and not all of it is good. Most of it, some of it's good, not all of it's good. Most of it's coming from people who haven't healed yet, and so it's just kind of like, where can you go to find like sound dating advice? Hopefully you'll be able to find it here. And like I said, I was talking to God, like, God, I don't really feel qualified, because all of my relationships have not been successful. But it's because of all those broken relationships that I feel like I have a wealth of knowledge. I kind of went through like a boot camp of dating, probably dated every possible toxic person that there is out there. And so I feel like I have a lot to say in the areas of like love and relationships. So although I don't feel qualified because I'm single, I realize that God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called, and I'm called. So hopefully God is going to qualify me as I go along, and talk about these things with you guys. And I just hope that it's going to be edifying and all the good things. So next week's first topic, our first topic is going to be, hold on, let me get my notepad. I'm back. Our first topic is going to be, what is it? Okay, what does being single look like? Like, next week we're going to talk about, what does being single look like? We hear the word single, but what does that actually like really look like? Because you can be single and actually really not be single, and before I go into the topic and talk about what I'm going to talk about next week, come back next week, because we're going to talk about like, what does it mean to be single? What does it look like to be single? What is this singleness thing that we're in, And maybe you're not single, you're booed up, you're in a relationship. Perfect. Send it to your single friends. You can watch it as well, so that you have advice to give your single friends. And just make sure you come back next week, because we're going to dive into it, and let's see where God takes us. All right, bye guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for coming back. Please make sure you like and subscribe and comment and turn on your notifications, so that when I post next week's video of what does it look like to be single, you'll be the first to get it. I love y'all so much for just sticking with me and going with me along this ride, and I'm just so excited to see what the future has for me and for you, because I know you're gonna have a testimony too. All right, bye. See you next week. I'm so excited. Singing is not one of my gifts, but it's okay, because I have lots of other gifts. Yep. Okay, bye guys. Okay, I'm back, because I was just in the kitchen heating up some food, and I forgot to say this part, and I think it's important, because the area and the topic of relationships and who you are dating romantically, who you marry, it's important. It may seem like something really trivial, but it's not. Like, breakups can be so hurtful to people that it can lead to depression. People can take their lives from because of a bad breakup. People can commit suicide, and it can just spiral your life into a place that you never thought it would be. You know what I mean? So figuring out how to get out of a breakup is really important. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out who to date after a bad breakup is really important. Like, who you end up with is important, and God has a lot to say about that, and God has a lot of help to offer us as single people. And so it's just important. Singles ministry may not seem like it's interesting to you, or maybe you've heard it all, you've done it all, but you never heard it all from the Ratchet Christian. I have so many stories that I could tell about ending up in the wrong relationship, and it's things that I've kept to myself for the most part, because I've been embarrassed. Like, who wants to be the girl who couldn't keep a man? You know what I mean? But I know that it was because of those things that God has given me the ability to now go forward and talk about dating and relationships and all this stuff, because ending up with the wrong person, ending up in a toxic relationship can legit like derail your life and ruin your life for a while. You know what I mean? It can stop you from becoming the type of person that you want to be, stop you from taking certain jobs. It can just stop you, you know? So it's very important to know how to get out of a bad relationship if you're in one, who to date next after you get out of that, and what to look for in marriage and sex and just all the things. So it may seem trivial, you know, a singles ministry may not be like, oh, it's for me, it's not for me, or whatever. Just know that it's important. Who you link your life up, who you link your life with is like life or death of importance. You know what I mean? So just come back, you know what I mean? Share the videos, comment, and just pray for me, you know, as I go down this adventure with you guys and, you know, talk about things and, you know, hopefully hear you guys' stories. And as you guys talk about things, let's just pray with each other, encourage one another, because there's just a lot of discouragement out there in the world. If you look at relationships, there's people who've been so hurt before that they're just like, I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life. But you don't have to be single for the rest of your life. You can heal, you can move forward, and you can trust that God is going to pair you with the right person who's going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. And God is going to heal you so that you can go forward and treat people and the one God has chosen for you with the dignity and love that they deserve to be treated with. So, yeah, it was so important not to come out the kitchen from making my food and add this little part in. Like, yeah, it's major. And so next week we're getting into it, we're diving deep, and I hope to see you there. Bye for real this time. I'm gonna go make my food because I'm hungry.